Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Oak House Journals. Carol here. I wanted to do another journal share with you today. I made this journal a while ago, or in fact at the beginning of the year, and I originally made it for myself because I wanted to have a writing journal. But I actually have quite a few journals that I've made for myself, so I decided that I would do a share of this and pop it in my Etsy shop. It's all oak themed, the reason being that I have a gorgeous mature oak tree in the front of my house, to one side of my drive, and she produces at this time of year a deluge of acorns, so we know that she is at least 30 to 40 years old. Because oak trees can last for up to 1,000 years, and throughout their lifetime they produce something like 10 million acorns. So she's been producing acorns consistently for years now. It's rather lovely. It's a bit of a chore brushing them all up, but it is rather lovely because we have two tame squirrels who we've nicknamed Sydney and Sybil, and they're charging around at this time of year collecting all the acorns and transporting them through to the back garden and then happily burying them to overwinter in the back lawn. So that's rather fun to watch. But when I decided to have a go at eco dyeing for the first time, I used the leaves from the oak tree, and if any of you have done eco dyeing, they give amazing results. So I was absolutely delighted with the result that I got and wanted to make a journal for myself using those oak leaves. So that's the background to the journal. She's called Quercus, which is the Latin name for the species oak. She's quite big. She's, or big for me, she's 6 inches in width by 8.5 inches high, which is 15.5 centimetres wide by 21.5 centimetres in height. She has a hidden 7-hole pamphlet stitch binding, and there are approximately 120 pages in the journal. It's all pretty plain inside because, as I say, it was intended as a writing journal, but all the pages are either tea stained or they are eco-dyed papers. There is this gorgeous rust, very fine sari silk closure. It's not stitched to the spine of the journal, so if you don't like sari silk closures, then you can take it off and use it for something else. She will stay relatively flat without the sari silk, although she is quite a full writing journal. The cover is made out of 2 sheets of cardstock. The outside cover is Stamperia paper or cardstock, which is absolutely lovely. And inside it's Ranger or Tim Holtz if you prefer cardstock. The back I've just left absolutely plain because I loved this Stamperia cardstock, and that's why I chose it for myself as the cover. On the front I've layered 2 pieces of raw silk, one in the deep rusty colour and the other in a softer green, and then layered on top a stitched image of an oak twig and acorns. 3 mother of pearl buttons stitched across the bottom there, and in the top corner, got a loose thread there, in the top corner some lace, a little coilless safety pin, some seed beads and a little silver acorn charm. Inside the journal there is a library pocket which I've edged with ribbon, bit of fussy cutting, bit of washi tape, just a plain library card inside, and then I've done 1 or 2 journaling cards. They've all been inked and stitched, and they've all been backed with either the tea stain paper or the eco-dyed paper. And I also included some little bits of decoration. So there's stitching around some of the pages, a little bit of lace. There's quite a few quotes that I've printed and inked and layered onto vellum. Some of them are tuck spots, some of them are belly bands. I mean, this one would act as a tuck spot if you use the vellum behind, or you could go behind the quote and it's a belly band. So this is some of my eco-dyed paper, and as you can see, this is the Ranger paper. So tuck spot here with a journaling card and a little bit of remnant rub on there. Some of the pages, or a lot of the pages, if it's tea stained paper, I've edged it with some of the eco-dyed paper, glued it and stitched it on, just for added interest. A vellum pocket here with one of the, let's see if I can get that in shot for you, one of the little flower fairies. And there's a quote in the corner there. As I say, a very plain journal. A little bit of Tim Holtz washi paper up there, a Tim Holtz paper clip, flash card, and everybody will recognise this paper. It's some Edith Holden paper, which I've just popped in there, and I loved it because on the back there's the squirrel eating some beech nuts, and next door to our oak tree in the front garden are beech nuts. So our squirrels are very happy in this area, or certainly my two squirrels are happy. So that just goes on there. Oops, daisy. Doesn't want to go on. There we go. And at the bottom, a little bit more of the washi tape to mimic on the other page. So as I say, plenty of room for journaling. This is a little vellum pocket, again with another tag, inked and stitched. Here I've used a little bit of the same lace as I used on the first page, and I've just put a mother of pearl button on there. This is an envelope. The paper is slightly different. It's not copier paper, which is what I've used for the main journal. This is mixed media paper, and I just wanted to test out how the eco dyeing would work on this paper, and it's come out. This paper's lovely. It's lovely and soft. It's almost got like a suede effect to it. It's magnetised, obviously, because I love that sound. Little bit of ribbon, and this button, there's a couple in the journal. They're wooden buttons, and they're made of oak wood. So inside here, I've just made some faux tea cards, which I've inked and put tea stained paper on the back, and they're all species of oaks, of which there's something like 600 species, I believe, of oak tree. Another tag, or sorry, I call them tags, but they're not, they're journaling cards. And another quote, this time by Thomas Carlyle, and it says, "When the oak is felled, the whole forest echoes with its fall, but 100 acorns are sown in silence by an unnoticed breeze." I just thought that was lovely. That's why I wanted to include it in. So I've picked out some of my my favourite quotes and popped them in this journal. This is a flip out, and again a quote here by Joyce Kilmer. And then this is, again, another little tuck spot, if you will, with some information about oak trees. I just love how these came out. I mean, for my first attempt, I mean, oh, it was just awesome. I was so excited. I was dancing around the kitchen when I cooled it all off and removed all the oak leaves. I was just so delighted how the paper came out, and I did oodles and oodles of it. This is another journaling card, just clipped in with a paper clip. Another flash card there. I cut out one of the eco-dyed images because I particularly like this one, and I've stuck it in as a bit of of an embellishment for this poem here by J.R. Ryder. Now this is an amazing poem. I'm not going to read it out and bore you with it, but oh, if you are interested in this journal, and you'll certainly be interested in that lovely poem. If not, Google it, because it's just absolutely amazing. Another big quote here, it's gone in there. Another tiny one there by Longfellow. This was a massive leaf that took up the whole of the page, so I wanted to include that in. And then more edging on this side, ribbon, well, not ribbon, a little bit of lace and another one of the mother of pearl buttons. A little bit of collaging here and stamping using, again, more Tim Holtz or Ranger washi tape. And this acorn stamp is a Mackie stamp. Tracy Fox uses a lot of Mackie stamped images. They are amazing, so please go over there and check out their website, because it's fascinating, the stamps that they have. This is another one of those mixed media vellum pockets, same as before, bit of ribbon, a little oak wooden button, again magnetised, and this time I've just put in some information on oak trees and tuck that in there. These pockets are all stitched all round, and the washi tape is not for reinforcement, it's just to, because this is quite sturdy paper, it's actually double thickness, but just to mimic on the opposite page and balance it out. So again, just more pages. There's a sheet here, an extra writing sheet of the eco paper, and another journaling tag in a vellum envelope. This is a magazine clipping. It's an image of a sunset behind an oak tree. I loved it and wanted to include it. So it's a big one that just lies inside. This was a leaf that I cut out just of some paper that I had left over from a previous project, and I just stitched it down the centre to add a bit of interest to this quote. Another tag. Sorry, journaling card. I will learn. This is a journaling card, sewn around the edge, inked and backed again, just clipped in with a paper clip. Here we have another little tiny one, and this is a quote written on some, or typed onto some of the eco-dyed paper, and I've just made it out to mimic an envelope, so that goes on there. There was a little flash card on the other side that just clips on as well. There she goes, and I just clip it under there. This is a postcard that I got from Kew Gardens here in the UK, and it's got leaves on it, and obviously there was an acorn and some cob nuts, so I wanted to include that in. This is just another little tuck spot, and I cut out some images of oak leaves to decorate it, and this is a tracing paper page. This actually is a tag and not a journaling card. This is a long quote again, backed with eco-dyed paper. Not a quote, sorry, a poem. So again, ribbon and the oak button. I'm going to speed up here because this is, as I say, not a lot of interest in this, or not a lot of decoration in this journal. So another little card in there, vellum pocket, some remnant rubs, another little tag or journaling card there, tuck spot here. This is just a little envelope or pocket that I've made, and this is a bit of a collage tag that I've made as well. A little bit of lace, an image laid on the top, some dyed muslin, washi tape, tiny little washi tag and a tiny little acorn leaf on the paper clip. There we go. Tucks in there. Another envelope here, and this time this is one of the leaves from my tree outside, and I've covered her over with some Ranger multi-matte medium, and she's quite durable. I wouldn't want to scrunch her up in my hand, but she is quite durable. So she just goes in there. Again, magnetised with a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote on the flip of the envelope. This is a little tuck spot with a journaling card, but it's also a little secret journaling spot. If you open it up, it all unfolds and you have a little journaling spot there. It just all folds up like this, like so. Can't do it now, that's typical. And she folds up like so, and then it just tucks inside there, folds down, and the journaling card can either go in the back, but I like to just tuck it on the front there, and then it's not so obvious that it is a little secret journaling spot. More of this lovely eco-dyed paper, and I have reinforced the spine because it's copier paper, but going through the eco-dyeing process it does make it a little bit delicate. This was some skeleton leaves that are showing the evening sunset through, and I just thought that was a lovely image that I wanted to include in the book. And this is another little tuck spot in there with another little quote there. This is a tracing paper pocket which is magnetised, and inside there is a vintage German postcard. I can't make out the date on this. I think it's... No, I can't. I think it's 1943, but I'm not sure. But certainly an old one, and obviously it's got oak leaves on it, so I couldn't resist including it in my journal. And then a little bit more washi tape. This is a British First Day cover, all about oak trees. It's not vintage, it's dated 1973. The stamp is an oak tree stamp, and inside, when you open it up, there is a card inside which has all the information about the British oak trees and the stamp. So that belongs in there. This is another tag that I've made, again using another one of my leaves from my oak tree outside. A few remnant rubs, bit of washi tape, another of those oak buttons, and this is a torn and inked vellum pocket. And the last few pages, big quote here, or big poem rather. Another envelope with a quote on it, but this one is an open envelope, and again more information about oak trees there, about the oak family, and that just sits inside and it closes up with a magnet as if it's a pocket. And last few pages, another journaling card in there. Wow, I actually managed to call it by its right name this time. Another sheet of my my eco paper, another journaling card, just a bit of layering there, and then the last page or so, another one of those big magazine images. It's not shiny, this magazine. It was a matte finished magazine, which I thought was quite nice. And as I say, more edging with the eco-dyed paper. And then this is my last page. There's a sticker an oak tree sticker there for a little bit of colour, edged with more of the lace that I did on the front cover, the Mackie stamp of the acorns, and another little card that's just glued on the back there. So that's my Quercus journal. I hope you like her. As I say, oodles and oodles of space for journaling. So there we go. That's my Quercus journals. Just before I go, I'd like to show you very quickly just a couple of sneak peeks. These are two little trifold journals that I've made that I will be using or showing in my next video as a journal share. So just very quickly, just flipping through them, lots and lots of tags and journaling space, little embellishments, lots of little pockets. They both are the same sort of layout inside. Stickers here. This is a glassine envelope with a flash card inside, a little bit of lace embellishment there, Edith Holden pages and vintage map pages in here, tags in the back and faux Denison labels. So they're both very much the same internally, although the pictures and tags and things that I've used are different. There are two little charms on the front of each. This one is more autumnal colours, yellow inside, vintage map paper again, some gorgeous, this is photo paper that protects photos in an old album, Edith Holden pages, some flips out, vintage music paper, love this small one, stamped linen flip up, some little flashcards, French flashcards. So lots and bits and bobs inside of these journals, and I've made 2 or 3 of these journals, so I will be showing them over the next couple of days, and they will be in my Etsy shop, all very much of the same theme but different colours, different images, as I say. So I will go through both these little journals in more detail in my next video. So hope you enjoyed that sneak peek. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a lovely day your end, whatever you're doing, and see you soon. Bye for now.